All right, Ross, appreciate it. I know we talked a little bit already on Sunday, but we're super excited about this opportunity this week. I mean, this is special. Very, very few coaches, very few players, get the opportunity to compete at the highest level, compete for a championship, and this is just a special opportunity, and certainly not something we take for granted, and really excited about it. And congratulations to Notre Dame and the season they've had. I know it's going to be a great matchup, but I wanted to take a minute today, just and reflect just a little bit on this team. This is, school's out now. We finished our finals. Every year is a new journey, that's for sure. But no team, and this is 12 years as the head coach now, but no team that I've had has faced the challenges of this team. And one of the things that I always tell our guys, and one of the things I told them in the beginning of the season was, this is 2020, whatever we're dealing with, it's either going to shine you up or it's going to grind you up. It's all about what you're made of. And I said, I know we're made of the right stuff. And 2020 has shined up this bunch. I think that, we have seen the resolve, the resiliency, the heart, the character of this team, and same thing of our staff. It's been one of my greatest moments that I've had here at Clemson, or even in my life, and that's being a part of what I've seen this year, and seeing a group of people come together with selflessness, commitment, pride, love for one another, and accomplish some amazing things. And so it has definitely, shined this group up, and I think has showed what we are made of here at Clemson. But just a few things, superlatives. I can thank Ross Taylor for giving me a few of these, but I think just a few things. There's a lot, we could take all day, but a few things that I think to point out about this team as we head into postseason. We're the first Power 5 team to go to 6 consecutive conference championship games. Despite playing 2 fewer regular season games this year, we are in position to have our 10th consecutive 10-plus win season, and we would be only the 3rd team ever to do that if we're fortunate enough to accomplish that in this postseason. Our seniors got their 50th win, and they tied the ACC record with 31 ACC wins, and they became the first senior group ever at Clemson to be undefeated their entire career here at home. And the last senior group to do that in college football was 2010 Boise and Oklahoma. So a very rare accomplishment indeed. And then the consistency of this senior group. This senior group has never been outside the top 10 in their entire career. Offensively, we scored 34-plus points in 10 consecutive games. Clemson and the 2013 Florida State team are the only ACC teams to do that. We had 400-plus yards in 10 consecutive games, and the only streak longer than that here at Clemson is our 2018 team, which did it 15 in a row. Our 72 400-plus yard games since 2015 are the most in the country. We have averaged 346 yards passing, which is the most in Clemson history. 12 yards more than the 2016 team record. Travis Etienne came back for his senior year, and he's leaving here as the all-time leading rusher in ACC history. He set the FBS record for the most career games, scoring a touchdown, and he's the only player in the country this year to have 750-plus yards rushing and 500-plus yards receiving. Trevor Lawrence, I don't have enough time to list all his superlatives, be here all day and half of tomorrow, but he's 8-0 He's 8-0 this year, and that moved him to 33-1 as the starting quarterback here at Clemson and made him the winningest quarterback ever in Clemson history. And it's the best record by any quarterback in FBS since the Division I split in 1978. DJ Uiagalelei, he led us to the largest comeback in Death Valley this year, history, in his very first career start, and then he came back the next week and set a college football record for passing yards versus Notre Dame in his other start. This is the first team since 2014 Baylor to have two different quarterbacks throw for 400-plus yards in back-to-back games. Cornell and Amari, we've had a lot of challenges at wideout this year, injuries, and obviously had some great ones leave last year. But Cornell and Amari, not only have we passed for more yards than any team in Clemson history, but they made Clemson this year one of only 3 Power 5 schools with multiple players with at least 675-plus yards receiving. The other 2 are Alabama and Boston College. Our tight ends have had a career season, and it's the most production we've had since 2016, 42 catches, 572 yards, and I think 7 touchdowns. So really, really proud of our tight ends. Defensively, we're on pace to finish in the top 10 in total defense for the 7th consecutive year. No other team in college football is in position to do that. We're second in the country with 22 takeaways. We've scored 3 defensive touchdowns for the 4th year in a row. That's a first in Clemson history. We had 3 scoop and scores this year for the first time in Clemson history. We're second in the nation in sacks with 38 sacks. And we have a national high 19 different players that have had at least a half a sack. Coach V's had 23 different guys start this year. Our average under Coach V since he's been here has been 16. So we've had a lot of moving pieces here in 2020. We lost 3 out of our 4 defensive starters from last season and 5 out of our starting back 7 from last season. But we still lead the ACC in opponent passer rating this season. And then Miles Murphy's had 3 forced fumbles. He's my first freshman since I've been the head coach to do that. And he's the first true freshman or redshirt freshman to do it at Clemson since Ed McDaniel, 1988. Special teams. B.T. Potter is a Groza semifinalist. And before being off this last Saturday, he led all kickers in the nation with 101 points, and he also led the nation in both touchbacks and touchback percentage at 92%. Spires has had a career-high 44.1 average. That includes a 3-yard punt. Career-high 44.1 average, which is less than a half yard off of Gardaki's all-time Clemson school record of 44.5, set in 1990. And this miscellaneous things, all of this, but yet we've been able to provide support and structure for 120-plus young men in the midst of the largest pandemic in a century. We played 6 home games in front of 367,000 fans, which is the second most in the country. What an incredible group of fans we have. We had 113 different players have the opportunity to play in at least one game for the Tigers. We averaged 73 players per game. We had 40 different guys start this year, 26 of them for the first time in their career, which tied for second most in the country behind Air Force's 28 first-time starters. And we're going to have 16 guys graduate tomorrow and Thursday, which will bring our total of 23 guys heading into postseason as graduates. So, I know we're talking about the championship game today, but I just wanted to take a moment and just congratulate this team. and thank everybody here at Clemson. Thank our administration in a season that has, like no other, where we've seen so many challenges. Man, our guys have stayed the course. Our support staff has been incredible. Our coaching staff, there's none better. These guys have done an unbelievable job. The leadership of this team, these seniors have been amazing all the way through to the freshmen. These guys have put the work in. This is our 20th week. This is our 20th week of football. Unbelievable. And I'm just super proud of everybody involved. And again, thankful to our fans, thankful to the leadership of this university, from the board to the president to the AD. It's been special. It's been challenging for everyone, but it's been a unique and special experience, and something I'm sure we'll talk about for the rest of our lives. We all look forward to the days where we can have some normalcy in the packed stands and Tiger Walk and and having our meetings in our normal meeting rooms, et cetera, and having families over here for meals. We've all had to make so many sacrifices and adjustments, but our players have been amazing. And what they've accomplished this year and what the staff has accomplished this year is truly remarkable. And, as I said, it has shined us up, and it's revealed the character of our program, the heart of the young people that we serve in this program every single day. So just really want to take a moment to acknowledge that, and also, again, congratulate our graduates, so many of them that have worked so hard to achieve such a major accomplishment. So got a few tomorrow, and then we got a bunch on Thursday at 9 o'clock and 1 o'clock that'll be, receiving their diploma, and what a huge accomplishment that is. All in the midst of everything going on in this world, and here we are having an opportunity to go play for the ACC championship. So we're excited about it. Again, Notre Dame is what a great team, what a great year they've had. But we really are, looking forward to competing on the big stage, and 4 quarters away from an opportunity to be the ACC champion. And we all know that's our next goal in this program, is to win the ACC championship and win the closer. If we can accomplish those two things, then what a special year it will be. So look forward to it. And with that, I'll take your questions.
Hey, Coach, Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. Incredible list of accomplishments, so congratulations on that. Jake Venables, he had the touchdown saving forced fumble up in South Bend. Of course, he's out for the season. And with Skowski kind of in a precarious position, coming off surgery, what's your comfort level in Kane Patterson, just with what he's shown the last couple games?
I'm comfortable. Kane and McGuire and Levante, those guys have done a great job for us. They're still young players. This is their second year, but they work really, really hard. They're incredibly committed. This is game 11 for us. So they've gotten some really quality experience this year. Obviously, they got some experience last year and been in meetings. So that's why we recruited them. So I'm fully confident in those guys.
Dabo, this is Gene in Charleston. Is revenge like the best motivational tool in all of sports, or do you think it's overrated? And do you guys have pictures around the building of leprechauns or Tim Beret or anything like that right
now? No, we don't. It's just we just move on. We move on to the next game. I always have. Our guys they know that this is a team that beat us the last time we played them. We've played many teams over the years that maybe beat us, and then we had to play them, either the next year or whatever. But it's just the next game. I mean, what happened in the first game? What a great football game that was. I mean, it's exhausting going back and watching it over the last 2 weeks, to be honest with you. I mean, it was such a roller coaster of emotions, that game, on both sides for both teams. You know, both teams made some great plays. Both teams made some critical mistakes. You know, it was a heck of a game. But in the end, they made a few more plays than we did. And, you know, but it's all about these 4 quarters. I mean, nothing carries over. I think both teams know that, you know, these are 2 really good teams, and the margin for error is small. And you got to be ready to play 4 quarters. But, you know, I mean, you can want to get revenge or whatever. You know, that doesn't fit the gaps properly. That doesn't catch the ball. That don't make the competitive play. You know, you've got to be locked in on just doing your job, playing with great fundamentals, playing with great technique. Certainly want to learn from your mistakes. You want to learn from your successes too, and try to, you know, find a way to even if the game had gone our way and we had won the game, well, we still had a lot of mistakes. We had plenty of opportunities to win the game, but even if we win, we got so much that we'd have to do better. And same thing, you know, I promise you, Notre Dame saying the same thing. They won the game, but they're looking at the tape too, going, geez, we're going to have to get better in a lot of these areas. So it's really just about championship execution, and, you know, that's what's going to win this game.
Dabo, it's Pete at AP. Obviously, when you talk about how proud you were of these guys for what they accomplished in this world, it goes to a lot of things. I mean, but I would imagine Trevor is near the top, if not at the top of that list, because he's a guy who had every reason to opt out if he wanted to, just because of what his future is. And yet he's the one who's fighting to keep playing and get to this point, even after getting the virus.
I mean, that's just who he is. You know, I mean, that's just who he is. You know, that's why he's special. That's why he'll be the first pick. You know, without a doubt. You know, there are a lot of good players out there, but there ain't none like this guy. And you talk about the whole package. You know, who he is as a human being, who he is as a leader, what his heart is, his humility, his consistency as a person. You know, obviously his skill set, his preparation, his mind. I mean, you name it. His love of he's an unbelievable teammate. I mean, just a joy to be around every single day. Such a humble spirit. Loves to be coached. And he's got a competitive streak. I mean, he's 33-1. I mean, the guy he's a winner. And you know, he's really had one bad game his whole career here, in my opinion. And he's had some bad plays along the way, but he's really only had one bad game. He's just really special. And I don't think you can overstate what he's meant to college football this year, to be honest with you. You know, he used his platform in a way to change the narrative, and not just Trevor, our whole team, our whole staff. I mean, you know, I told our team and our staff in June, before any of NCAA, any of that stuff, I told them all that, hey, we were going to come back in July, but nobody had to come back. Nobody had to play. Nobody had to coach. Nobody had to come be support staff. Nobody had to be here. Everybody could just come back in January or whenever the world was normal. No hard feelings. And I just needed to know who was going to be back so I could plan. And everybody's been here. Our whole team's been here. Even guys that couldn't play, they're here every day. A guy like Justin Foster, he's been here every single day. Every senior meeting, he's been right there in the middle of it. He's been here all year. And so, to me, when I say it shines you up or it grinds you up, you know, I think that's just the culture of our program. And I'm just really proud of this team. I'm proud of this staff. I'm just the leadership is incredible. But certainly Trevor, you know, yeah, it'd have been very easy for him, but that's not who he is. That's not who he is. That's not who he'll ever be. You know, this is a guy that is, you know, got a bright future. He knows that, but he's just all about the moment. He's all about right now. He's all about having a great Tuesday practice, I promise you.
Chase Goodbread with NFL.com. Can you describe Trevor's ability to read defenses pre-snap and look off safeties during the play and do some of those cerebral things that don't really have anything to do with arm talent?
He's as good as there is. He'll be as good as there is first day he gets into the NFL. That's how good he is. What you want to know? He can see it. He's seen it all. I promise you. There ain't nothing he'll see on Sunday that he hadn't seen. He might see a faster version of things. He might see some of that. Obviously, you're talking about the best of the best in the world. But I promise you there ain't going to be nothing he ain't seen on this practice field or any of these 34 games that he's played to this point against unbelievable opponents.
Is that something he had as a freshman too, or is that something that's developed over time?
Well, I think it's both. He came in. One of the reasons that he was so successful early, just like Deshaun was his football IQ. From the moment he got here, his ability to absorb the playbook, installation, day one, and take it from meeting rooms to the practice field, to understand defenses, what they're trying to do, the structures, what the weaknesses are, et cetera, et cetera. He was incredibly well coached in high school. He's got an unbelievable aptitude. You know, he started since the 9th grade in varsity. Deshaun was the same way. And both of those guys, when they got here, they were rare in that regard as far as their acumen and aptitude and just football IQ. So, but yet still, he had a lot to learn and what he was going to see, collegiately. And but I watch NFL football all the time. I mean, it's either two safeties, one safety, or no safety. There's about I don't know there's not much yet they're going to be able to do. What do you want? You can cloud coverage, you can play man coverage, zero coverage, you can play quarters coverage, you can play trap coverage, you can roll coverage, you can do about anything you want. This guy's as good as there is pre-snap and post-snap. And, that's not going to change. Now, the margin for error will get smaller in college. That's open. In the NFL, that's open. It's just the game is more precise. But as far as, schematically and what he's been exposed to and what he's seen and his ability to process it, protections, understanding, fronts and how to prepare week in and week out as far as studying tips and tendencies and those type of things. I mean, he's just special.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, this is Grace with The Athletic. Just staying on Trevor for a second. You guys have obviously seen him play in a bunch of huge games, but what do you learn about him each time the stakes seem to get a little bit higher?
Yeah, it's just no moment's too big for him, and he's not perfect. But when he makes a mistake, he rarely will make it again. I mean, he's got almost a photographic memory. He really does. I mean, it's amazing to me, what he sees, and I mean, he can come off the field and he can tell you exactly what happened. And that's a special trait, that he has. But, no moment's too big for him. I mean, he loves it. He loves the bright lights. He loves the challenge. He likes to compete at the highest level. And, he's at his best. When the game's on the line, critical situations, the biggest games, he just doesn't flinch.
Hey, Dabo, David with ESPN. I promise I don't want this entire press conference to be about Trevor, but I do have one more for you. He was obviously outspoken in the We Want to Play movement. He was outspoken along with Darian and Cornell and Mike and the other guys who put together the protest march earlier in the summer. For a lot of guys of his prominence and his spotlight that's on him, that's a dangerous area to step into. I know you've certainly dealt with your fair share of criticism fairly and unfairly over your career, so you know what it's like. Did you ever have a conversation with him about how best to, take that platform and use it, and how do you feel like he's handled it?
He's great. He's got thick skin, and if you're gonna be a football coach, at any level, certainly at this level, or if you're gonna be a quarterback, at this level or the NFL, you better have some thick skin, especially in the I mean, we live in a world with a bunch of, foam gangsters. Everybody just attack you every day, all day, and nobody has to have any facts anymore. It's just what kind of headline can we get? And, so you can either handle that or you can't. You let that determine your quality of life, or you draw on something else to determine the quality of your life. And that's what he does. He's strong in his faith. He knows who he is. He's not trying to be right. He's not trying to make other people wrong. He is who he is. And if you don't like that, that's your opinion. That's great. Doesn't make you bad. But he's going to be who he is. And, I think everybody, they love him for that. He's authentic. He's genuine. And, he's not afraid to disagree, even though it might make, the thumb gangsters mad at him. He don't care. He knows who he is. He's grounded in that. And, he's going to show up and go to work and be the same guy every single day, regardless of if there's a lot of praise or a lot of criticism. He's got great confidence and humility that way.
Hey, Dabo, it's Josh from the Post-Courier. You said Trevor has only had one bad game in college. When was that? Which game was that? And what did he learn from that game?
It'd be the one he lost. It'd been that one in New Orleans. I mean, he just missed some plays that he would normally make. I mean, I don't know that he learned anything other than, he's human. He can have a bad day. But he just missed a few plays that he normally makes on third down. We're probably left 3 or 4 easy third downs out there. And but I don't know that he learned anything, again, like I said, other than just, hey, you go back to work. He's human. He's not perfect. He's 33-1. He's almost perfect, but not quite.
Hey, Dabo, it's Phil Kornblut. Signing day comes up tomorrow. If everything falls into place as you expect, what kind of day do you think you'll have tomorrow?
Oh, we're going to have a great day tomorrow. It's going to be a awesome day, for our program, and really signed a great group last year, and a lot of those guys have really stepped up and made a huge impact for us on this team. Same thing with this group coming in. I'm just really, really excited about, meeting all the needs that we had. And, we'll sign them up and talk about them more tomorrow. Look forward to it.
Dabo, it's Pete again. Now I'm going to ask you about Ian Book. And what did you see from him first time around? And did anything he did then surprise you coming into this game?
No, he's a special player. This kid is a great player. I mean, I hate to compare him to Joe Montana, but it's kind of, Joe Montana played at Notre Dame, and he's just got a little bit of magic to him. He is a great player. Can do it all. He has a great command of their scheme. He's obviously got good people around him. He's got an incredible offensive line. But, man, he's the heart and soul. He makes them go. He made some great throws. He made some – we had some really good coverage, and he put some balls, right where they needed to be. He's tough. He's as good a runner as you're going to see, and he really knows how to scramble. And sometimes he's scrambling to go run for it, and then other times he's scrambling to open guys up, because they are as good at the scramble drill as anybody you're going to play. They do an unbelievable job, but just incredibly impressed with him. He like I said, his toughness, his accuracy, his ability to push the ball down the field, but his ability to extend plays. I mean, he makes so many plays off schedule, and he does it routinely. I mean, it's just, you got guys there, he'll make a miss. He's a problem. So we didn't do a very good job against him the first game. He really played. I mean, he was the difference in the game. He was incredible in every regard. So, you know, for us to win the game, we'll have to play in a lot more precise in what we do. You know, we gotta affect him and not let him get comfortable. That's the biggest thing we got to do. But he was tremendous in the biggest moments in that game.
Hey, Dabo, it's Marty. Hey, Coach, it's Marty Smith from ESPN.
Man, got the big dog in here today.
Yes, sir. Great to see you.
You slumming today, huh? You don't usually show up to Tuesday press conferences.
Well, you got me.
Must be postseason.
COVID.
Must be postseason.
Man, that's right. It's postseason. That's right. It's big time ball. You know, listening to you talk to Trevor, there's basically nothing that you two haven't experienced together as coach and as star quarterback. But I wonder, what, if anything, did you learn about him by not having him in that Notre Dame game?
What did I learn by not having him?
What did not having him tell you about his positioning and importance in your program?
I thought you were saying maybe something I learned about him. You know, I was going to say I didn't learn anything about him by not having him because I already knew he was a great teammate. I already knew he was gonna do everything he could. If that was his role, not playing, he was going to do everything he could to still help his team win, to encourage them, to lead, to inspire them, to motivate them, to help DJ. You know, so, you know, other than that, I think just as far as not having him, it's just his leadership. I mean, you know, DJ is an incredible leader, but he's a true freshman in his second game, you know, and he's got a lot on his plate. With Trevor, you know, Trevor kind of walks out there with 3 plates, and he's okay with that, you know, kind of like our Thanksgiving Day meals, you know, he's okay. You know, he just brings a wealth of knowledge and experience and confidence that's just hard, you know. He's played, 30, whatever he has now, 34 games. It's hard to coach that.
Hey, Coach, it's Trevor. Go ahead, Marty.
I just had one more real quick, guys. You said that you know, this might be the proudest moment for you as a coach with everything that the players and the program managed this year. For somebody who didn't know and hadn't lived it, how would you describe what everyone had to manage this year?
I mean, total chaos, uncharted waters. I mean, unprecedented, no roadmap, just literally, driving in the dark with no headlights, trying to figure it out. And that's why I'm thankful to the good Lord. The Bible says, he gives, his word is a lamp unto your feet. I'm thankful for that lamp. You turn a lamp on at night, it doesn't light up the house. It just gives you just enough light so you don't stomp your toe going to the toilet, right? I'm thankful to the good Lord because he gave me a little lamp just so I could see just enough to kind of keep moving, because I think everybody driving around in the darkness with no headlights, that's kind of what it was like, never, on unfamiliar roads. I could go back to Pelham, Alabama. I don't need no headlights. I can drive from here to my house. I don't need no headlights. I can go in the complete dark. But these are roads nobody's driven. You're talking about 100 years since a pandemic like this. Incredible. I mean, the whole world shut down. I mean, we go on spring break thinking we're coming back. We got spring practice. We got, and next thing you know, you don't even really see anybody till you see them just for like a week in June. You don't see anybody till July. Like, you're isolated, whole new way of life. It's just fear, so many things. Obviously all the, issues in the world, outside of, what we're dealing with COVID, and just really, really challenging. And you're trying to lead and keep a group of people together. But I go back and to what I told our team back in June. I said, this is either going to be a competitive advantage or disadvantage. And, we're made of the right stuff. And that will win the day. And that's exactly what has happened for us. I'm incredibly proud of our staff, our support staff, everyone here. I mean, the folks down that work in our bistro that cook the food. I mean, they've been here. It's amazing what they've had to do. I mean, the people cleaning the building, the sacrifices that everyone has had to make. Most people have no idea what all has transpired. Our medical team, and staff. It is, again, no roadmap. No. I mean, just figuring it out as we went. But we did it with faith. We did it together. We did it with belief. And we did it with love. And it's been awesome to see these guys, play the way they've had. No excuses. No excuses. Guys stepping up. It's just been incredible to be a part of it and watch it all play out and to be at this point now in the ACC championship. A lot of people didn't think we'd play a game, and now we're going into our 11th game. It's in our 20th week. It's pretty incredible what has transpired.
Hey, Dabo, playing off of that. Hey, Dabo, this is Will. Kind of playing off of that. When you look at the ACC's plan and all that, do you think they've done a better job than maybe what people would give them credit for, and considering the fact that they did try to get the rivalry games played in, and they also had more bye weeks built in than any other conference to make sure you guys can get games in? Yeah,
and I was a part of that committee. So I was, I know how the sausage was made, if you will. I was a part of it all summer, and I think the league got it right. I mean, the way the schedule was laid out, the flexibility built in when we started. I wish we'd have started even a week earlier, but that's kind of what we settled on when we started, and it's worked out great. Knew there were going to be challenges. People get like something like, well, we knew there were going to be challenges. Everybody did, but I think we've played probably more games than anybody. And our league's done an incredible job. They really have, and we're going to crown a worthy champion Saturday night in Charlotte. There's no doubt about that, and I'm just thankful that we've got the opportunity, and thankful that not just the ACC but the SEC and the Big 12, had the courage to push forward and allow these young people to play. Because this has been important. It's been important for our country. It's been important to these young men's lives, and I'm just thankful that we've been able to navigate it. It didn't go perfect, but we've been able to navigate, to this point.
Hey, Coach, it's Trevor again. Speaking of the ACC, Northwestern AD Jim Phillips was named as Commissioner Swafford's successor. President Clements was on the short list for that job. I'm sure it would be cool to have a Clemson guy in that position, but are you somewhat relieved that President Clements will be staying at Clemson?
I'm super happy that President Clements is staying at Clemson. I mean, he's best president in the country. I mean, he's unbelievable. He just does an amazing job. He's got a unique way of leading, connecting. He's just always available. The alignment, in my position, that's something that you're always evaluating. Who's the president, who's the AD? Those are critical factors, when you're the head coach. And so absolutely, I'm super excited that he's staying here at Clemson, and look forward to meeting the new commissioner Phillips. I do not know him, but I look forward to meeting him at some point.
Maybe
Hey, Coach,
just
Pete
follow up
Hannity,
with that.
got a question about the running game you mentioned the other night about obviously needing it to be better this time. Is that a matter of doing things differently up front? And I would think perhaps Trevor being in this game will impact that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Trevor certainly brings, again, just that experience and confidence and knowledge with the whole package of everything that we do. But bottom line is we got to play better up front. I mean, we didn't play well inside. Simple as that. You know, Bach got hurt. He went out. But we got to play better. Got to play better inside. And it's just fundamentals and techniques type things. So I was really proud of how we played. Against a really physical group in Pittsburgh, and you know, similar as far as, you know, their ability to stop the run, and you know, so that was a good challenge for us, and we certainly made a lot of improvement there. But yeah, we got to play better. You know, up front, tight end, wide outs, everybody's a part of the run game.
Got time for about one or two more.
Hey, Dabo, David with ESPN again. I'm just curious. At some point, I'm sure you will meet the new commissioner. As you are sort of the senior statesman in the league at this point, I guess. What concerns do you have, or where do you think the priorities should be with the new commissioner? What kind of insight or requests might you make of the new commissioner?
No. Yeah, I'm not. David Cutcliffe's the senior spokesman. You call David, ask him. I'm second in line, I guess, when it comes to tenure. But
as the vice president of the ACC,
yeah, vice president. Yeah, I don't have any. I ain't even had a chance to think about that. Maybe I'll take some time and prepare for that meeting. You know, one day after the season. But you know, only if he asks me, because I certainly, you know, I mean, he's got his job to do. He don't need me giving him any advice. He's obviously qualified, and he'll come in. But if he ever asks me, I'm sure I can think of a couple things. But we'll see if that happens.
We'll take one more question.
Coach, it's Trevor again. A lot has been made about obviously Skowski and Davis and Mike Jones missing the first game against Notre Dame, but Xavier Thomas only had 11 snaps in that game. He was kind of working his way back. How much of an added benefit could he be just in setting the edge against the run and trying to contain the in-book?
Yeah, well, he was out the first half because of the targeting rule. So that certainly limited him in the first half. But listen, all those guys. I mean, we've got to fit the run. We got to first of all match their physicality. Every single one of those guys across the front. We got to match their physicality. And we got to fit the run properly. And we got to play with more precision in what we do defensively. I mean, when we did that, we played pretty well. But when we were poor with our leverage, poor with our eyes, and you know, peeking in the backfield and you know, again, not fitting things properly, they can expose you quick. And so, you know, all those guys. I mean, we've got to set the edge better. We've got to fit it better. We got to tackle better. We got to make the layups. I mean, we had some layups that we didn't make, and you know, they're going to make plays. This is a championship game. You know, this ain't a bunch of slouches. These guys are 10-0. And a really, really good team. They're going to make some plays, and you're not going to shut this quarterback down. But we've got to do a better job and minimize him and be more efficient, which hopefully will help us be better on third down. I mean, they were 10 of 19 on third down. It's hard to win. You know, we had 3 turnovers to their 1. They were over 50% on third down. We were terrible on third down. We were not efficient on either side of the ball. And so we've got to do better in all those areas to have a chance to win the game. And it starts with just technique and fundamentals and just doing the little things right. You know, it's not complicated. You know, make the layups. If we do that, then we'll have a chance to, you know, maybe make a 3-pointer or 2 along the way.
All right. All right, with that, we will wrap up Coach Swinney. We will reopen this room in about 10 minutes to begin with our